Mr. Ben Smith, yes, Mr. James Gardner here from Goliath Foundation. I just realized you and I are still we're in work mode, kind of. Happy Thanksgiving, buddy.
Yeah, happy Thanksgiving to you too.
Right?
As soon as we're done this, we're going for a Mexican turkey.
I forgot. Like we're completely two. Well, you're in Mexico right now, but we're two Americans living in Canada. So happy
Yeah,
Thanksgiving to you. Happy Thanksgiving to all our tribe out there in the States
I
and beyond
know.
that are
I
sharing.
know.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's so funny because, like I say, Shar and I right after we're done this, we're going out for a Mexican turkey for to celebrate. So yeah, didn't even think about talking about that with you. So happy
What's
Thanksgiving.
a I know, right? What's a Mexican turkey? Is it like basted in tequila, maybe?
Well, it's the turkey of Mexico.
Oh yeah.
Well, I should, yeah.
Well, you just took
And
the fun
so
out of that one.
the turkey just says, "No, no, amigo, no,
No. Comes with a big sombrero to your
no,
table.
no más, no
No
más."
mas. All right. Well,
Oh,
happy Thanksgiving, buddy.
thanks, you too, man.
All right, man. So, gang, again, this is Ben and James here. We're just sharing some insights with our support group where we work with. We're very privileged to work with a handful of young men on their journey to understanding their current role and their future role in becoming men of this world. So, Ben, today's conversation we want to have is about collaboration and what we've seen so far, and just this term collaboration and its power and why it's so important. So, I'm going to pass the mic to you. What have you seen in terms of our group and collaboration from the 7 weeks that we've been working together now?
Well, I just think it's so exciting when you see the group start to kind of trust each other and know each other's issues a little bit. Like again, we're not talking about pain and suffering here. We're just talking about just little things that can help them to guide them to be a little bit happier. I mean, they all kind of know the things that those issues with each other now, and they kind of trust each other enough to just kind of, you know, like, hey, maybe this, or maybe you could do that, or oh yeah, that's a great idea. And so it's much more collaborative. I mean, we laid the groundwork, and now we're still there to support and facilitate. But now it's much more the trust is there that they can kind of talk things through it themselves, and you can see that
Mm,
it's it's like the power is in their hands. And I think anybody feels good when they feel empowered, and that's where it feels now at this point. And it's I love to see that. It makes it feel like so fun,
yeah.
and just where it's just is something to look forward to, right?
Yeah, that's one of the beautiful things for sure is that evolution of seeing them on the other end of the screen as a pupil, if you will, and you and I are there educating and holding space, and then starting to see this journey whereby we step back now, and we bring you and I bring something to the dance, and then we see them support each other and guide each other based on what's showing up, and we're almost, it's sometimes we're just watching now, and it's great.
It is great.
Yeah, yeah. And because really that's, I'll speak for myself. I mean, I would love the world and the youth of today and the men and women of tomorrow to be more free thinkers, to
Hmm.
to really seek counsel, to seek support, to verbally share and try to up level the human condition.
Hmm. Yeah, I agree totally, and I also think for me, my big thing is just for to get people to think things through a little bit. And so even if they have this 1 hour a week where they're with each other, they feel comfortable, they put everything aside for a second to be with each other for this hour. where they can actually, yeah, I could, think some of the issues, whether it's relationship related, whether it's work related, whether it's whatever, right? And actually, because I think people really need to just spend a little bit of time and figure things out. And if you could do it, get a little bit of insight and then go away and think it through even some more. Um, how great is that? I mean, that's what people need to do. That's the source of wisdom, right?
Yeah,
So,
yeah, we're
supportive
creating.
group.
Yeah, it's nice to see them walk away and to know that during the week in between the week that transpires, there's an underlying thread of awareness that's there. They're aware of maybe how they're feeling. They're aware of, oh, if I change my perception on this moment, boom, I can rewire my happiness line. If
Hmm.
oh, I'm looking forward to my ritual, my morning ritual that we talked about with them, and all of those things. That awareness now is starting to really become part of how they show up. And you and I know awareness is the first step to facilitating
Hmm.
change in one's life.
Hmm. Absolutely. And I think for everybody at some point in your life, if you're aware of it, if you're consciously have the intention for whatever it is that you want, there's going to be a light bulb will go off if you're open to it, and I got it, and
Mm,
then all of a sudden this huge wave of peace and understanding. I know what I need to do for to achieve this objective, and in this case, the objective is happiness. But you have to have awareness, you have to have an intention, it has to be somewhere in your mind, and collaborating with this group and throwing things back at each other, feeling your own wisdom, feeling your own power. All those things are going to open that doorway to there it is. That's what I'm looking for. Boom, I got it.
what did you just say? Did you just say trusting your own wisdom? What did you say? That was really good.
Really just trusting in it while appreciating your own wisdom. I mean,
Yeah.
it feels so good to help somebody else to an understanding, because it solidifies that understanding within yourself, and it just empowers you. It's empowering to help others or to share knowledge or wisdom, right?
Mm,
Yeah, right. So
yeah.
so
Yeah.
I think it's amazing, right?
A big thing for you too is really, you and I joke, and we're serious though when we joke about bringing our inner child, and you and I are complete kids in the sandbox. It's how we show up. That said, though, there is a lot of fun in this group, and I know that's something that's really important to you in helping people, whether they're grown men that we deal with, or they're the men of tomorrow that we're dealing with. It's bringing and finding that play and that fun, right?
Hmm. Well, I think that the world can be a heavy place, but it doesn't have to be. And you can. I mean, this is supposed to be fun. Life is supposed to be fun.
Mm,
It's not that long, right? Like we said last time, you have your little bucket full, like however you want to look at the life experience. The way I look at it is you have your bucket taken from the ocean. This is your bucket. See what you're
mm,
going to do with it for this small amount of time, and then it's getting poured in. But shouldn't the goal be fun if you know how it's going to end? If you know that you're just
mm,
going to join the ocean that you came from, if you know for sure how it's going to end, why wouldn't you have fun? And why wouldn't you, as you're asking questions and as you're discovering things and as you're coming to new conclusions about, like, in my relationship, I could do this way, or in my work, or in my ideas about this or that. Oh, light bulb. That's amazing. They have fun with all of this, right?
mhm.
We should be encouraging fun. I mean, there's no better, in my opinion, there's no there's no richer experience or more pleasurable experience than to go, how what oh yeah, and then to get it, right?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that's a great thing in all areas of life, whether it's anything, right? To be like, how do I do this? How do I do this? How do I live my life? How do I get my life together? How do I oh man, right?
Yeah.
How great is that?
Yeah. Just a comment that came in from Jolie. Great observation. We must bring fun and play in. Absolutely. And this is a great segue because the work that we do and the work that I do in terms of personal development, I'm going to just generalize. I mean, most people lump personal development into kind of work. And,
Mm,
it can have a heavy, like you said, the world's a heavy place. Personal development, we're all trying to become better, and people immediately go or connect to, oh, I got to do shadow work. I got to I got to silence the ghosts within, and all that may be true. That doesn't mean, like anything else, we can't bring fun and play into that experience. And play, fun and play, true is a true common denominator to how we can do anything in this life. Live, work,
absolutely.
eat, play, dance, procreate, you name it. It should be fun and play.
Mhm. And it's all perspective, right? Because I mean, think about any sporting event or any game. The best game that you can imagine are the ones where you're challenged, where you have a worthy opponent, and you gotta figure it out, and then you kind of you see the weakness, and then you get pulled back a little bit, but then you go forward, and you get the goal, the victory, yeah! Like that's a great game. That's
That
a
is a
great
great game.
game, and that's a great life.
That's a
And
great
this,
game, and uh, N squared, Nicole Natras, who you know very well, Ben. She just chimed in.
yeah,
Really great distinction here. Uh, in play, we have those opportunities when we age to bring in wisdom and play.
mm,
That's a powerful combination, which ties into directly what you said earlier about trusting and experience your own wisdom, and then combining that with play, and there's your secret sauce.
yeah. Absolutely, right?
Hence,
Because
hence a turkey in Mexico.
yeah, I mean, I just think that, like, again, so much of this is perspective, right? So much of it is how you're gonna look at all this stuff. Like, are you looking at, like, oh, I've got to win this game, like I've got to win, I've got to prove to everybody, I got to show everybody, and I've got
Yeah,
the world on my back, or are you just saying, you know what, this is just a life, and I'm gonna do the best I can to enjoy it as much as I can, and this is the cards I was dealt, and what can I do with those cards? And I'm
mhm,
making it sound maybe a little easier than it may seem to some people, but it kind of is that way if you can kind of get past all the things
sure.
that are holding you back from living your life that way. And that's the truth, right? I
Hmm.
mean, it may be hard to hear, but that is the truth. No matter who you
Well,
are, you have an opportunity to to find those ways of looking at the situation that will empower you, that will eventually lead you to appreciation of your life. It may not happen right away, but and that's the fun part of it when you get there, when you've worked, you've won that, when you've played that game against that
mhm,
worthy opponent, and you found their weakness, and now you're hammering it home now, right?
yeah, uh-huh,
And I just think that's one of the great things about our group is there's that fun in it, there's that collaboration, there's that feeling of wisdom as you're sharing your nugget with the group, right? And then it's like, yeah, it's just I,
and
I
that
love watching it.
and so one of the takeaways here too, gang, for everyone out there, is collaboration is a fundamental ingredient, I think, for humans to optimize themselves. We're designed to be um, in groups. We're designed to be in communities, support groups, and such like that. And you don't necessarily have to be in a young men's group with Ben and James. The point is there's a lot of power and empowerment that comes from being aware that in men, specifically in men, it's okay to be vulnerable. It's okay to share. Uh, one of our guys, our kids, I say kids, young men, kids to me. Um, one of
Old man James.
One of them even shared, how he cried this week. Like there's 40 some year old hardened men that would never think of doing something like that. And
Yeah.
yet, right? And yet the response from the group was super powerful and very supportive. I guess it's just, I'm trying to share that, this is the work that you and I want to do with the men out there, is to show them that it's okay to be a different type of man than society's built us up to be.
Yeah, and it's a great opportunity to learn a universal law, which is you receive what you give. So if you can give compassion, and if you can give wisdom, and if you can give understanding and empathy, that's what you're going to get. You get it right away. You get it right away. Give somebody a hug and see how you feel.
Yeah.
Give somebody a loving compliment and see how you feel. Give somebody a little wisdom of knowledge when they're seeking it. See how you feel, and you'll know for sure that you get in this world what you give.
Nice.
So what a better thing than to be a part of a group that slowly is starting to understand by the experience of giving and receiving that this is how the world works. Give love, give compassion, give all those things, and you're going to get it back. And your life is going to be so rich and rewarding because of it.
Beautifully said, amigo. Well done. And I don't know if you saw the latest comment, but I'm going to read it because it's kind of funny.
I can't see any of it.
Okay. You are awesome, Benjamin. And by the way, you have a beautiful smile.
My snaggletooth smile.
The pearly whites of yours.
Look at these crooked teeth. But I'll take the compliment.
Take the compliment, man.
I know.
Jeez. Jolie, I will send you, I'll DM you for Ben Smith Fan Club information. If
but all my smiles on those pictures.
Anyway, Ben, thanks as always for jumping on and for the work that you're doing in the world and how you show up. And for the community out there, wherever this finds you, look for that collaborative spark within your tribe and seek it, because within there is some next stages of growth and love and wisdom and all of those things that we talked about today. All right.
And also, I just want to add this one note. Try really hard to recognize that you get what you give.
Get what you give.
Your life will be so much richer for it.
There you go. All right. Mad love to the courageous, to you, my friend, and to everyone else. Peace.
Bye.
Bye.